Alexander Hernandez, man, he gets Kurt Holobaugh. I'm surprised to see the career trajectory move to where it has gone to right here, man. A tweener at 155 pounds, dropped down to 145, just didn't like how he felt there, how he performed. And now you get a super veteran, Kurt Holobaugh, right, who's trying to resurge his career after the tough season where they put the vets on there. Listen, man, I think that this is a matchup that is very simple. I think Alexander Hernandez needs to move. He needs to be on his bike for 15 minutes against Kurt Holobaugh, because what is he going to do? You actually alluded to this a little bit earlier. He's going to get in your face and he's going to pressure wrestle you, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that is the game for Kurt Holobaugh. Be on the front foot, crush distance with power combos, right? Get on the inside, do some damage, but really just keep the pressure on Alexander Hernandez. And to Hernandez's own right, he is a great wrestler, so he is able to get on that bike and cut corners and be able to avoid all the strengths that Holobaugh presents. It's just, we've seen Hernandez be in positions where he doesn't always show up on fight night.
We definitely have. And it's definitely come in between different weight classes and just not finding his consistency. But AJ, would I be crazy when I first looked at this? I said, I think Kurt Holobaugh is the side. I think he's the guy that you want to bet on for this one. That was my initial thought. Then I watched some film and I know that Hernandez is way faster than Holobaugh. He moves very, very effectively. If you look at his last fight against Austin Thud Hubbard, listen, fantastic pressure dude too. He just couldn't grab onto him. He's too slow, right? That's when I was like, all right, Hernandez almost, though, has to fight a perfect fight here, because Holobaugh is throwing bricks at you at the same time. He's not just looking to wrestle. My big concern was after a big first round push for Holobaugh, like he did against Krzyzewski, right? Or, Trey Ogden, he just kind of got wrestled into oblivion. But for Krzyzewski, first round, fantastic, stifled the power. He ended up winning the fight. But that slowdown after the first round was pretty substantial, man. Hey, hard, AJ, to bet on 38-year-old fighters. So not particularly taking the Holobaugh side, but do you see where I'm coming from here?
Absolutely, Derek, especially when Kurt Holobaugh's leading the dance. He has volume on the front foot, well-timed counters. He is able to do the things that make him look good, especially in the early rounds. But like you said, once the output drops and you kind of get exasperated in those fights, and honestly, I have the same note for Alexander Hernandez, right? Good pressure, technical, but he slows down halfway through his fights. It's again going to be another one who's fresher and who's able to stay fresher for the entire fight. I think I'm going with the youth in that case.
With the youth right here, man. But I'm saying, you have to be perfect on that bike for 15 minutes, bro. Because the moment he slows down, all it takes is one takedown, in my opinion, for Holobaugh to change the entire fight right here. So again, I think Alexander Hernandez is the play right here. But I don't feel great about it. So, AJ, taking a look at the number, minus 200, the live odd. When it opened up, we were looking at minus 190, so it hasn't shifted majorly. For youth, that's a price you got to pay. For youth, right? You kind of don't give an option. You should not be a minus 150, a minus 115 against Kurt Holobaugh. No disrespect. But the other thing, too, this is my last thing. This is my other big concern. I just think Holobaugh is just a lot bigger. Just frame, just like a bigger guy, right? So, like, is there any concern right there?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're Alexander Hernandez, I feel like he, and especially with his frame, 5'9", going up against 155ers that are cutting a lot of weight right there, even the 145 pounders, like there's still some tall guys in there and some bigger frame guys, but being a tweener, I think Alexander Hernandez is used to having to fight the bigger guy. He's always going to be the smaller one, so I don't have too much concern, except for the gas tank. I mean, if Kurt Holobaugh does get those takedowns and then wears you down, then yeah, I'm absolutely concerned in that aspect.
All right, we'll give it to him, AJ. Normally, we would go consensus pick. How do you see it? But we know how you see it. Talk to the people.
Yeah, we're going distance right here, folks. Prop lock all day long, whether you're tailing one or the other, right? I do think this fight is going to go to distance, and if you're tailing Alexander Hernandez, plus 115 decision makes sense, but you could also hit that over the distance in general and don't have to worry about who's winning this one.
And a slight change. The prop for Hernandez by points is shifted to minus money, minus 105, but the fight go to the distances remain the same at minus 170. So you got your lock. I think we leave it at that.